So, today's daily devotional: the greatness of God, the greatness of Jesus' obedience. The hour has come for Jesus to fulfill the mission he was sent for, to die on the cross for man. This is the last hours before his impending death. Jesus was filled with great sorrow and trouble. Matthew 26:37-38. At the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus turned to the Father. He prayed, not one time, but thrice. When Jesus prayed a second time, this time was different from the first. My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done. Matthew 26:42. In his anguish, sweat like drops of blood fell to the ground. Jesus is fully God, who is also fully man. His struggle before the crucifixion was not simply to wish to escape a physically painful death. It also involved bearing the sin of the world as well as being separated from the Father. His prayer revealed to us his terrible suffering. His agony was worse than death because he paid for all sin by being separated from his Father. The sinless Son of God took on sins upon himself to save us from separation from God. God made him who had no sin to be sin for us, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. 2 Corinthians 5:21. In spite of his suffering, Jesus continued to trust the Father. He reaffirmed his desire to obey the Father. Yet I want your will to be done, not mine. He humbled himself, becoming obedient to death, and even a death on the cross. Philippians 2 verse 8. So that the will of God can be fulfilled. Sometimes we wish that we know the future or understand the reasons for our suffering. Jesus knew what was ahead of him, and he knew the reason. Even so, his struggle was intense, more wrenching than any struggle we will ever have to face. Jesus' strength to obey came from his trusting relationship with God the Father. What does it take to be able to say, I want your will to be done? It takes a sincere trust in God's intentioned plans. It takes prayer and obedience each step of the way. Reflection. Jesus' obedience to God is born out of a trusting relationship with the Father. What do you think you can trust God more today? How do you think you can trust God more today? I can ask him about my circumstances and I can obey what he asked me to do. So if you guys want to pray with me. God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you comfort me when I hurt, and you care for me in times of trouble. Please allow me to be a source of comfort for others in their sadness too. And when I'm overwhelmed, provide me with people who will strengthen and encourage me. In the name of Yeshua Mashiach, amen. Then he said to them, my soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me. Isn't it interesting? We're called to bear one another's burdens well as yet today and to encourage one another. In a world that we live in, how many people are actually encouraging and uplifting and looking to support another person? It's not the modern way of things. The modern way of things is how can I take care of what I have and what I own and what belongs to me and what is best for me and my desires and my wishes and my dreams, but what is best for others? This is a good question that we should ask. And what is best for God if we are actually worshiping God and God is our master and we call ourselves Christian to any degree? What is best for him? What does he desire of us? Have a wonderful and lovely day. God bless you and keep you. Bye for now.